How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And as always, I appreciate everybody that takes time to watch my videos. Donald Trump won the election in a landslide. He won the popular vote, he won the electoral college vote, and also Republicans took over both the House and the Senate. The people spoke, and they wanted Donald Trump and the Republicans to take over, to right the wrongs the past administration had done. And in under less than a month, they've done way more than the Biden administration did in 4 years, especially with things having to do with illegals and the border, and also at the forefront, cutting government waste. And Donald Trump campaigned along with Elon Musk, saying they were going to start the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, and they were going to look into cutting the waste in our government. And boy, have they done a fantastic job. But then when the Democrats found out what Elon Musk and his co-workers have found and what they are cutting, now they've got their panties all in a big wad. Because what it's doing, it's showing how corrupt the government's been, especially under the Biden administration. And we know the politicians, not only Republicans, but Democrats, are getting wealthy because of a lot of this stuff. How can people who are making $200,000 or around $250,000 mass fortunes in the millions and tens of millions of dollars? And now we're finding out the Biden administration was using our tax dollars to fund gun control, which is absolutely ridiculous. Just imagine they had the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention, and it was taxpayer funded. It was staffed by a former Everytown for Gun Safety lobbyist. And of course, Everytown for Gun Safety was founded by Michael Bloomberg. But of course, that office closed down when Trump took office. It wasn't enough that the gun control groups were getting millions and billions of dollars from George Soros and his son, but as well as Michael Bloomberg. But then they decided they were going to use our taxpayer dollars to go after our Second Amendment rights. Now, Elon Musk and his DOGE group weren't the ones that actually found out this information. It was all uncovered by a gentleman named Lee Williams, who was a gun writer and an investigative journalist. But a lot of the taxpayer dollars that went towards funding gun control by the Biden administration was done so by the U.S. Agency of International Development, or what we know of as USAID, which of course for the past couple of weeks we've been finding out have been doling out billions and billions of dollars for unnecessary things. So when Lee Williams did his investigation, he found out that USAID money was going towards two of the biggest gun control groups out there, Giffords Courage to Fight Gun Violence, and of course Michael Bloomberg's Everytown for Gun Safety. Those were the two main beneficiaries of our tax dollars for them to try to take away our Second Amendment rights. And here's how they made it hard to figure out what was going on. Because it wasn't direct payments, it was funneled through other groups. The money was funneled through a group called Neo Philanthropy. And not only did that company funnel money to these gun control groups, they also funneled money to other groups for DEI programs. But it not only was Neo Philanthropy, there were quite a few other middlemen who funneled these tax dollars to these gun control groups, which all have reported no tax dollars have been used. But of course, that's not true at all. $7.5 million was funneled through Michael Bloomberg's Everytown, and they were noted as donations from that group Neo Philanthropy, such as $300,000 from the Kaiser Foundation hospitals, $12,000 from a group called Civiscus World Alliance, $150,000 from the Tide Center, which just so happens is owned by George Soros, $245,000 from the Board of Trustees of a company called Leland, and the biggest of them all, $6,478,000 from Fidelity Investments, charitable gift fund. So in other words, USAID would take our tax dollars, funnel it to these various groups that I just mentioned, and then they would send it out to the gun control groups, which made it a little bit harder to find out. But now they have been found out, and I hope they all go to jail. And here's just a few things some of the anti-gun Democrats have said since President Trump has directed Elon Musk and his DOGE group to go over the government finances. And of course they're all anti-gun, but there are some that are extremely anti-gun. Senator Chris Murphy, who is a Democrat from Connecticut, what a tool this guy is, says that President Trump's efforts to bring accountability to taxpayers' expenditures, is attempting to seize control of power, and for corrupt purposes. How can it be corrupt if we're saving billions and most likely trillions of dollars of our tax dollars? And then there's another tool. His name is Jamie Raskin, who's a Democrat from Rhode Island. This illegal, unconstitutional interference with congressional power is threatening lives all over the world. This guy has lost his freaking mind. They're all upset because they're not going to get their kickbacks anymore, and that their hands have been found in the cookie jar. Not one red cent of our tax dollars should go to anybody whatsoever who wants to stomp on the Constitution and put an end to our Second Amendment rights. And it got so bad for the Democrats because they weren't going to get their kickbacks anymore or get the money to do away with our Second Amendment rights. So 19 Democrat attorney generals, led by gun-hating you-know-who, New York State Attorney General Letitia James, sued the federal government. And a Democrat judge actually blocked Elon Musk's DOGE from going through government systems. It was finding out all of this wasteful spending and the money laundering of our tax dollars. But like I said, it's temporarily blocked. It will go to a higher court, and if so, to the Supreme Court. And one of those courts will find in favor of Donald Trump and Elon Musk and DOGE to continue what they're doing to account for the billions and trillions of dollars that our government wastes every single year. As always, I would really like to hear your thoughts about today's video in the comment section. And if you enjoy videos like this, and you would like to help the channel out and help it to continue to grow, I just ask you to take a few seconds of your time to like, share, and subscribe, and hit those post notifications. I'd be very grateful if you did so. And I invite all of you to come back and watch my next video.